It feels like a do or die moment. I've already done this too many times to even be too worried about it. Don't worry about nothing else and start boxing.
Ready? Here we go.
Just on the ground, you got clowns out here asking me what my intentions are today. Bro, I'm trying to train. I'm locked in.
We've been keeping it pretty with the same kind of pattern. You know, we wake up around 8:30, then head to the, strength and conditioning gym. We lift weights, we do, conditioning drills, sprints, all that stuff. Then we take a minor, 10-minute break, and then we head to, boxing.
This year was brutal because of the suspension he had, of the mental breakdown that he might have, had caused because of that, knowing that he was innocent. But we were there for him, as parents, as father. I stayed with him and I told him, well, I'm here if you need me, but he went through a lot. So going into that fight with Rolando Romero, he wasn't like this.
Just treating my body like a temple, what you put in is just as important. I was just so used to just being like a superhuman almost and just never getting affected by anything I put in my body.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's go. Push it, push it, push it.
I feel like I've definitely been underestimated in my career.
Get stronger as you finish. Get stronger as you finish. Nice work. Come on, Mario. Let's attack it.
That's not something that has bothered me much.
In this task, but there's no shortage of risk.
Why am I doing this? Why didn't I stay in school? Days and workouts like that, they push you to a mental where you really have to question, like, why am I doing this? For me, I have a couple of reasons. For myself, been in boxing since I was 6. I have love for this game.
Real sense of momentum in Barrios' camp. Barrios is focused on turning experience into evolution. He's known for delivering
It's about to be oh, it's gonna be bad, because I know all that. I know what he's training like. I know everything. They could say, like, oh, he knows, but he didn't train with me long enough. I know, been knowing Joe since I was 17. I know exactly, and I haven't trained with him. I just watched him, so I know exactly how he trains his fighter, exactly what they're doing.
As the impending fight nears, Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios push through brutal camps, locked in, razor-focused, determined to unleash ruthless precision on fight night. Ryan Garcia grinds through another punishing session in the gym, eyes locked and jaw set, sharpening his timing and lightning hand speed on the reflex bag as it snaps back at him without mercy, every strike thrown with calculated fury beside Coach Eddie Reynoso, who watches closely, correcting, demanding perfection, and pushing him to react faster, move sharper, and fire with surgical precision as the tension quietly builds toward fight night. Mario Barrios forces his way through savage rounds in camp, refusing to slow even as fatigue claws at his lungs, sharpening his combinations until they flow like controlled chaos and tightening his defensive movement with every calculated step, slip, and pivot, each session growing more punishing as he chisels himself into a relentless, disciplined weapon preparing for the moment everything explodes under the lights.
Y'all are gonna see why I'm the champion in the first place. This is like the kind of thing that, you dream of as a young fighter.
Every brutal session becomes a silent test of will, reflecting unwavering discipline, razor-sharp focus, and a cold, unbreakable determination as the preparation intensifies, layer by layer, building dangerous momentum toward fight night where all the sacrifice, sweat, and pressure will finally collide under unforgiving lights. Ryan Garcia radiates unshakable confidence, voicing a fierce belief in his relentless preparation, unyielding focus, and the raw ability to unleash a dominant, decisive performance, every word carrying the weight of certainty as he envisions storming the ring and controlling the fight from the first bell to the last, leaving no doubt of his intent to dominate.
He'll be fighting against the current. High tide, mother. Get out the water! And I ain't no lifeguard, so you ain't gonna get.
Ryan Garcia hammers through the gym, meticulously refining his jab with surgical precision while unleashing and perfecting his explosive left hook, each repetition sharpening speed, power, and timing, transforming every strike into a potential fight-ending weapon as sweat and intensity fill the air, pushing him closer to peak readiness for the impending battle. Despite the unexpected twist of his former trainer now aligning with Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia stays entirely unfazed, his focus razor-sharp and mental toughness unshakable, refusing to let outside distractions infiltrate his preparation. Each day in the gym becomes a deliberate battle, every session approached with intense purpose and unrelenting discipline, as he hones his skills, sharpens his reflexes, and pushes his body to peak condition, transforming pressure and surprise into fuel for the explosive performance he is meticulously crafting for fight night.
Look at my lips. Oh, he already know. This is about to be a, oh, it's gonna be bad, because I know all that. I know what he's training like, I know everything. You know, they could say, like, oh, he knows, but he didn't train with me long enough. I know, been knowing Joe since I was 17. I know exactly, and I haven't trained with them. I just watched him, so I know exactly how he trains his fighter, exactly what they're doing. So to me, it was like, oh, thank God you gave me an advantage. Like, it's just another advantage for me. And, you know, word leaks, things leak, you know. Joe was a part of that. I don't want to get too into it, but you know.
You think Joe was leaking stuff out of you?
I don't know. I didn't say that. Allegedly. I don't know. I have no clue.
Mario, a lot of trainers in boxing. Why'd you go with the one that used to train Ryan Garcia?
I mean, it was like, I'm in like a position with these next.
Ryan Garcia executes every drill with meticulous precision, from lightning-fast speed and reflex exercises to tight defensive maneuvers and punishing combinations, leaving no corner of his game unsharpened. His mindset is absolute, valuing consistency and control over impulsive reactions, transforming pressure into power. Even under the unusual strain of seeing a former coach now guiding Mario Barrios, Ryan channels any potential tension into relentless motivation, refusing distraction, letting focus and discipline dominate. Every calculated punch, every measured step, every repetition reflects methodical training fused with mental toughness, painting the clear picture of why he is recognized as one of the most composed, prepared, and deadly-focused fighters in the sport today, ready to unleash everything under the unforgiving lights of fight night.
With Joe, it had nothing to do with Ryan. Like, that was going to happen regardless of whether this fight was made or not. It's just kind of coincidence that it happened to happen next.
You think it was a coincidence?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think it was. I don't think it was more like, I don't think it was like, hey, I'm gonna do this to try to throw him off. I'll be real. I think it was a missed chess move. I don't think it was a good chess move, but we'll see. You know?
Why don't you think it was a good chess move?
I just don't think it's a good fit for him. I don't. I think, you know, Bob was cool. I fucked with Bob. You know, Bob was a good trainer. So we'll see. We'll see though. Maybe he can prove me wrong. Shit, we'll see, right? That's the whole point of this.
How's the fit been?
It's been good. I mean, I stayed, you know, I came out here to LA, worked with Joe for a week in November.
Analyst Wade Plemon offered a sharp perspective on the intricate dynamics between fighters and their coaches, shedding light on the often overlooked interplay of influence and development that shapes success in the ring. He noted that victories rarely hinge on a single factor. Instead, they emerge from a collaborative partnership where both fighter and coach drive growth. While a coach delivers guidance, technique, strategy, and hard-earned experience, a fighter's dedication, adaptability, and relentless work ethic equally steer the evolution of that relationship. Plemon highlighted that certain fighters instinctively challenge their coaches to innovate, fine-tune methods, and adjust training to meet new demands, while strong mentors can unlock hidden potential, pushing athletes past perceived limits and elevating performance to heights that might have remained unreachable alone, creating a symbiotic dynamic where preparation, intellect, and sheer will collide to define careers inside the unforgiving squared circle.
Especially in boxing combat sports, is it a coach that makes the fighter or the fighter that makes the coach? Now, Joe Goossen has a track record of being a high-level boxing coach. We know this. But do coaches change for fighters, or do they implement what they know to fighters and fighters change for coaches? Because this will be the crux of what happens here. Can Joe Goossen, not to call Mario Barrios old, but can he teach an old dog new tricks? Can he give him something that Bob Santos hasn't? Sure. Can he give him more info about what Ryan likes to do? Absolutely. But will it be enough to prepare him for what Ryan knows that Joe knows? And how Joe trains fighters, and how Joe runs a camp, and how rigid he might be. And even that last part, Ryan's talking about information leaking maybe from Joe, or that Joe was leaking information about Barrios, or about, I'm not sure who he was talking about, Ryan, about Barrios, but Ryan, again, seems confident that he knows exactly what they want to do, and maybe even knows what's going on in Barrios' camp, which again, does that really mean a lot? Who knows? But again, what makes
this two-way influence forges a charged environment where growth thrives on mutual commitment rather than strict hierarchy, each side pushing the other toward excellence. Analyst Wade Plemon observed that watching the subtle interactions between fighters and their coaches can reveal deep insights into a fighter's mindset, discipline, and resilience under pressure. Ultimately, he emphasized that reaching championship-level performance hinges on this delicate balance of guidance and personal drive, where both coach and fighter continuously elevate one another through relentless effort, unwavering trust, and shared ambition, creating a powerful synergy that shapes not just skill, but the very character required to dominate inside the unforgiving arena of the ring.
Those guys, Bill Haney was saying his son was going to kill Ryan. It was crazy. But, you know, in the Rolly fight, everything was super laid back. I was there at the press conference watching Ryan just kind of more be so, you know, locked in on Devin and maybe overlooking Rolly. He can't make that mistake here. And it doesn't look like he has. It doesn't look like he's overlooked Mario Barrios. He absolutely believes he's going to knock Mario Barrios out. And that kind of confidence is what you want to see. This is kind of the old Ryan. A little bit more, I would say, subdued, obviously, than the Devin Haney fight. But in his early career, he was a subdued guy. The trash talk started coming out more with the Gervonta Davis fight and even the Oscar Duarte fight. He was talking trash to Oscar De La Hoya. He was like, yo, you want him to win? Watch this. And again, as much as Barrios, I think, is the most gettable champion at 47 right now, he's still a dog.
Ryan Garcia's father spoke candidly about the unexpected twist involving Mario Barrios and seasoned coach Joe Goossen, acknowledging how rare it is for a coach to change sides in such a direct way. He noted that while Ryan Garcia ultimately bears responsibility for his own path, the development initially struck him as surprising given Goossen's history of guiding fighters who later became opponents. Reflecting on the professional demands of the sport, he emphasized that such transitions, though uncommon, test both emotional resilience and strategic understanding, requiring careful navigation to maintain focus, respect, and preparation under circumstances that could easily unsettle even the most disciplined athlete.
Like it's a big deal?
Well, I mean, it's, my son is the one that, you know, felt that way. I felt that way, that it was kind of a, surprise at first, but then I recall Joe telling me that he did that in the past. He did that in the past where he would train a fighter, and then about 3-4 months later he would fight against the guy, you know, who he trained. It was kind of weird. So I told Ryan about that. I said, you know what, he does those kind of things. I don't know why he did it against us, but maybe he wanted to get paid or something, but there's no advantage.
The discussion also highlighted the critical role of trust and communication within a fighter's support system, showing how decisions like these can ripple through preparation, strategy, and mindset. By offering his perspective, Ryan Garcia's father shed light on the challenges athletes confront beyond the physical grind, emphasizing the mental and emotional complexities that define competitive boxing. He stressed that handling such situations with composure, focus, and deliberate clarity is essential for sustaining peak performance and remaining steadfast in pursuit of long-term goals, underscoring how resilience, discipline, and strategic awareness off the canvas are just as vital as skill and power inside the ring.
Training camp going, man. Like when you look at Ryan, you look at all the other training camps, and you guys are back together, united again. How does this one fare upon all the others?
You know what? This is the best I've ever seen, and the best I've witnessed the way his condition is. I mean, it's just a work of art. I mean it, a work of art. This is something that everyone's going to be surprised. And like I said, he's up here, he's 100%. And when he's like that, ain't nobody going to beat him. There's no way. He won't let you. I won't let him, lose, but definitely he's on it. He's just like, he's on a mission. I love it. I'm loving this training.
Mario Barrios and his trainer Joe Goossen exhibit intense focus and unwavering composure as they gear up for the looming clash with Ryan Garcia. Every element of their camp is executed with surgical precision, each drill, sparring session, and strategy discussion reflecting careful attention to detail and a deep awareness of the stakes. Goossen insists that no opening, adjustment, or nuance is ignored, reinforcing that relentless, consistent work in the gym directly fuels performance under the unforgiving lights of the ring. Barrios embodies this philosophy fully, demonstrating disciplined execution and mental clarity in every movement, every combination, and every tactical choice, forging both body and mind into a weapon capable of meeting the intensity and unpredictability of fight night.
Look back and count on him making the same mistakes he made in the last fight. I want to train Mario to face the best Ryan Garcia that he can possibly be.
Now, in your viewpoint, is it a mistake to jump around trainers as much? Does it hurt a guy? Does it help a guy?
Well, stability in boxing is a valued commodity, you know, especially if you're winning. You know, you don't fix it if it's not broken, right? But sometimes you can have a relationship with the trainer that, you know, just doesn't click for you, and you recognize that, and you may want to, you know, change.
Their approach strikes a meticulous balance between intensity and control, making certain that preparation is comprehensive without tipping into haste or recklessness. Beyond brute physical conditioning, the camp emphasizes tactical planning, defensive awareness, and adaptability, equipping Mario Barrios to react effectively to any scenario that may unfold in the ring. Joe Goossen's season guidance is evident in the precise structure and focus of each session, steering Barrios through calculated adjustments while preserving confidence and composure. Together, they form a seamless unit, blending knowledge, methodical preparation, and mental fortitude, cultivating a camp environment that is disciplined, strategically sharp, and relentlessly focused, leaving no aspect of readiness unchecked and ensuring that every detail is honed to perfection before the lights of fight night ignite the arena.
I feel like especially in, you know, today's age of boxing, you know, like I said, where people are very quick to write you off, you know, regardless, you know, if you got yourself into that position or not. Like I said, I got into that position, you know, by beating Ugas for the interim, and then I was elevated when Crawford moved up. And of course, me as a fighter, you know, like, nobody wants to be elevated as a champion, right? You always think about you winning the title, you know, against a champion, in whatever fashion, but you always imagine yourself, you know, beating the champion. But again, you know, that's just where, you know, boxing is today. And regardless, I'm still very proud of that position that I was able to get myself in. But yeah, you know, I'm looking.
Chris Algieri offered a candid perspective on Ryan Garcia's upcoming fight, shedding light on the intersection of sport and business that shapes professional boxing. He noted that while the matchup might not appear fully earned on merit alone, such situations are common, as timing, promotion, and market forces often weigh as heavily as in-ring performance. Algieri explained that from a professional standpoint, these decisions make sense, generating attention, viewership, and revenue, all crucial for sustaining fighters' careers and marquee events. He further highlighted that although fans and media had anticipated the bout for weeks, the official announcement crystallizes the reality, sparking deeper analysis, heated discussion, and a surge of excitement throughout the boxing community as the stage is set for both spectacle and high-stakes competition.
One of the biggest question marks in the game. Super talented guy, but sometimes does not show up. Rolly Romero. You know, people were talking about him walking through Rollies like it was nothing, and then he ends up taking a loss, getting dropped, and losing. So there's I don't know exactly who's going to win this fight, because that's when it comes to Ryan, any prediction you make, it can go completely opposite way.
Yeah, he's an absolute wild card. He goes in there and drops Devin Haney numerous times. He's on Osterine. He's in the middle of a manic episode, and he looked
in
good
the club. He's in the club the week of the fight every night.
Is that true?
That's what I heard.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I went back and watched some of the interviews I did that week with him at Gleason's gym. That guy it was scary. I mean, I never want to see a fighter like that again. He was going through some serious episodes.
Chris Algieri emphasized that fighters and trainers must remain adaptable to such developments, channeling their energy into mental and strategic preparation while ignoring external speculation. The official confirmation shifts anticipation into immediate, actionable focus, compelling both camps to escalate training intensity, fine-tune strategies, and approach the bout with unwavering professionalism. He underscored that boxing exists at the intersection of sport and business, where opportunities emerge in unpredictable ways, and success demands flexibility, discipline, and the ability to respond decisively to whatever circumstances arise inside and outside the ring.